Everybody seems to be talking about this social media thing, but what if you've never even seen social media in action? No accounts, nothing. How do you get started with this stuff? Does this sound familiar? Well, the purpose of this short video is to give you the very basics, the fundamentals, the need to knows about social media. Another word we often use, the term is social networking. Now that should be familiar to all of us because we're human beings, and basically since time began we've been forming social networks. Our network of friends and family and business relationships, all of these things are social networks in action. The only difference with social media and social networks online is that people are brought together with a common shared interest, but it's regardless of where they happen to be physically located, so they can connect virtually, if you like, online together. But the same principles apply. It's about building relationships, and that's the important thing to remember. So there are three things that all social media platforms have in common. Three things that you can do with them. You can write content, you can connect with other like-minded people and organizations, and you can share the content of other people and like-minded organizations with your own audience. Now, most people immediately get worried about, what do I say? What is it that I can talk to the world? Who's going to see this information? How secure is it? There's a fear factor involved. Actually, in the early days of setting up on a social network, one of the key things is to actually look at who else is already out there. People you may know already through business relationships, through contacts you have. Connect with the people most familiar to you. Spend the time to look around and see who's already got an existing audience instead of trying to build everything from scratch. And then start to share what other people are publishing, what they're saying, long before you have to then sit down and say, right, now I need to tell the world what I had for breakfast, what, joining in some way, starting to publish stuff. The main thing around point one and trying to write content is just your basic who you are, what you do, the benefits of what you do as an organization. Get that set up. That means a nice picture, a description of what you are as an organization, and links to any website, that sort of thing. But that's the main thing, really. The priority for the basics is to actually start to connect with people. Now, these particular icons you can see here might not mean a lot to you if you've never been onto Twitter, but these are, there's the quill pen, symbolizing you post content. You've got follow me, little birdie, at Twitter. I mean, it's just a name that people tweet. There's all kinds of language, and we can go into that in more detail in other content, but suffice to say, on Twitter it's very simple. You follow somebody and they may choose to follow you back, and then you're connected. You can see each other's content. And then here you've got three little buttons: reply, retweet, and favorite. What does that mean? In a conversation, you reply back to somebody. If you want to share with other people, pass it on to others, you retweet in the case of Twitter. If it's something that's great, you think is valuable, and you'd like to come back to it, you favorite it. Now it's a like on Twitter. Now, if we were looking at Facebook, there would be, instead of a tweet, you would create a post. Instead of connections, you like things. You like people. You add them as friends. Instead of interaction in this way, where you retweet, you share.